With Timmons Group. I'm Lillian Minix. I'm a marketing communications manager at the firm. And if you follow along on our channels, you know that we like to interview some folks on some, quicker live discussions every once in a while, about 10, 15 minutes, kind of tell us what they have going on in their worlds. We offer a variety of services kind of over, across the country from 20 offices up and down the mid-Atlantic. So to keep, in the loop with what our teams are doing, these live discussions are a great opportunity for us to chat with some folks. And I've got Chris Long here with me today. And Chris is a senior project manager on our asset management team. He's going to talk to us about some changes in the Trimble sphere. It's more on the geospatial technology kind of and GIS area of things the services that we offer. So Chris, thanks for joining me. Very excited to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. Excited to join.
Yeah. So you've been with the firm for, we were just doing a little bit of a brief before we hopped on the call, for just over 7 years.
Yep, just about a week over 7 years now. Yeah.
Well, happy belated workiversary. That's really exciting. Yeah. And you've been on the asset management team with the firm that entire time.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah.
Wow. What did you, we didn't brief on this beforehand, but tell me a little bit about your background. What did you study in school? How did you find yourself at Timmons Group?
Yeah, I went to Virginia Tech, go Hokies, big fan. Studied geography there, so I have an undergrad in geography. After I graduated from Tech, I worked for a number of local governments as a GIS analyst. Really enjoyed GIS work. And at my last job, I had the opportunity to go back and get a master's degree from VCU. So I have a master's degree from their business school in IT leadership.
Okay, very cool. I did not know that. That's awesome. And you are based in Richmond, Virginia.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool. So serving clients from all across the country, and interesting that you have that background in local government, because those are primarily the types of clients that you support now.
Yeah, my entire career has been in local government. I really love local government. I like working with kind of all groups in local government, which is really great. Working in the asset management group, we get to talk to, parks and rec facilities, sewer, water, really kind of everybody who participates in local government. It's really exciting.
Yeah, very cool. I love to hear it. And in your just over 7 years at Timmons Group, you've helped dozens of clients, but probably somewhere upwards of 50.
Yeah. I've had kind of the opportunity to do a lot of different jobs in our group, which is also very fun to do. It's a very engaging job. I tell my boss, Ron, as long as I'm never bored, I want to work here for as long as I can. And I've not been bored for 1 minute. So have gotten to work on CityWorks implementations for clients who've never had CityWorks or a tool like that. And then over the last couple of years, I really focused on helping clients who've had CityWorks for a long time, kind of reevaluate that tool, make sure it works well for them, make, kind of subtle tweaks and make sure that they're getting the best kind of bang for their buck.
Yeah, absolutely. And you all have a very streamlined team. I know that, Ron and Lou, you work very closely with. You've got Greg Stevenson, a lot of really familiar names out there, again, in the Trimble sphere. But you all have a very streamlined process with how to help these clients. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. And it's very timely. Our discussion today was not on a whim. It was very strategic. We wanted to keep everyone informed with how your team is managing some updates from Trimble. And these announcements were made earlier this week. It sounds like Monday. And so this is a very quick opportunity for us to, talk about the situation, what's going on, and how your team is here to help.
Yeah. I think it's good to talk about. I think if you're a CityWorks customer, you probably got an email from Trimble earlier this week that talked about kind of the life cycle of their existing or kind of legacy products, the CityWorks product. And they are starting to sunset some of those softwares. And there's a large user base of CityWorks products, and this kind of affects kind of a whole range of those users. And really, they kind of charted out a path to moving to Trimble Unity. And so we want to react to that and make sure we're available to help, make that move, help customers of Trimble and CityWorks understand what it means to make that move, and that, it might sound scary to get an email that says that your software might be kind of deprecated over the next couple of months or years. But it's really an exciting time, and this is what I like to do. I like to kind of navigate those kind of exciting and maybe tumultuous times. So yeah, that's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, it can sound a little scary, but something I want to make sure that we note, and we're going to share some content about it as well. But this is something that your team, even more than just now, proactively this week during the announcement, you all worked on this months and months ago. We did a webinar for a new platform, a new portal that you all have created to help clients with this and just navigate the new Trimble Unity. I think the webinar is called The Path to Trimble Unity.
Yeah.
So, and that was again from April. So your team has put a lot of forethought into this. You all have spent a lot of time thinking ahead for your clients, and that's very impressive.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Trimble announced the move to Unity, or the product Unity, at the, I think, 2024 Innovate conference. That's where the announcement was. And I think on our team, we've really been thinking about what that means since then. A lot like our customers as well have probably been thinking about it, but we've been really preparing and kind of thinking about what that means for our customers and for people who are using CityWorks, and how we can basically answer their questions. We understand that there's a lot of complex deployments out there, and that those aren't going to be just kind of a lift and shift to a software as a service or kind of platform that Trimble's announced. That'll take some kind of coaching and education and understanding and really build that path before you make that jump. And that's pretty exciting. I think the other thing that we recognize is each client is going to be unique. And I think we know that because we've done over 150 CityWorks deployments kind of across the nation, like you were indicating. And we've kind of helped build that uniqueness over the last, I don't know, how many years have we been doing this? I can't remember. But yeah, we've helped build some of those uniquenesses, and that was a lot tied to the software that we had available to us at the time. I think that particularly means that we're well positioned to help make that move too, right? We've helped build some of these, and we can now help move those to the cloud and to Trimble's new Unity offering.
Absolutely. Well, I think now's a good time actually to share this PDF that our team put together, and it's got some of these step processes, how to get folks in the right direction, and how your team can help. So I'm going to share my screen, and for those that are tuning in, it's going to make Chris and me a little bit small on the screens, but we think that the more important thing to share is the content. So I can zoom into if you need me as well. Why don't we zoom in a little bit, and then we can click and drag down when needed.
Yeah, that's great. I think, this kind of middle part is really the most important part to hit on. And we've kind of broken this up into what we're thinking of as 5 steps. And each step I do think is important. The first one really is to hopefully engage with us and help kind of understand what Trimble Unity Maintain is. We want to work with you and your Trimble CSM and really get a demonstration of Trimble Unity if you're unfamiliar with it. We want to answer any kind of technical questions you might have. If your organization has not moved to the cloud or is thinking or interested about moving to the cloud, I work on the asset management team, but what we haven't talked about is that there's a whole host of people that we work with in this technology kind of arm of Timmons Group that can help support kind of cloud-based questions and security, really any concerns you might have about moving to something like Amazon Web Services. So we want to talk with you and kind of answer those questions first, make sure we're all on the same page. Then we kind of want to move from that. If you're interested in moving to Trimble Unity, we want to start to identify, what does your CityWorks deployment look like? What are the uniquenesses that are there? There can be lots. It can be around the workflows that you use to accomplish the work management that you do inside of CityWorks. There can be customizations in your CityWorks database that have been added. You could have integrations. Integrations are something that we do across almost every project that we deploy CityWorks on. We want to document all of those uniquenesses and understand, is this something that you want to keep? Is it essential to your business processes? It likely is. And then we really want to move into that step 3, which is defining how we move this into Trimble Unity. I mentioned that we've done a lot of CityWorks projects and we've built a lot of these integrations. The benefit of that is that over the past I'll say 2 to 3 years, we've really been also focusing on, a lot of new cloud deployments and making sure we're using the newest technology for integrations where we can. And that set us up to be successful to redeploy your existing integrations and customizations, whether that's using something like a webhook instead of a database trigger, or making sure we're building integrations with APIs, and really we're just changing out a URL instead of rebuilding an integration. We're well prepared to kind of build that path there and update your CityWorks so that it can be moved to Trimble Unity. We want to build that plan and make sure you agree to it too. I think that's really important. We want to build out kind of, I'll call it the recipe book of how we're going to make this change. And then we want to work with you and Trimble to actually act on that, right? Step 4 is really where we're going to bring in Trimble and work with them, deploy your Trimble Unity site, make these modifications to the new site, make sure it's functional, have you test it, really put it through its paces, and then move you over to Trimble Unity. One really kind of important step in this is that we recognize that your CityWorks is critical to your day-to-day operations. So we want to build this plan with that in mind so that you can continue to use CityWorks all the way up until when you're ready to kind of flip the switch and then jump over to Trimble Unity. So really cautious with this and really think that will help make that jump. And then step 5 is maybe one of my favorite steps, actually. So you mentioned Greg Stevenson. We have a very robust support program. And I really view the clients who use our support program as highly successful, right? They want to continue to get as much as possible out of CityWorks. They want to be doing the day-to-day operations, managing work, creating work orders, tracking what's going on, analyzing the data. And then we want to be there to support them and make sure CityWorks runs efficiently, works, answer technical questions. So as you jump to Trimble Unity, we want to be there to support you kind of long into the future as well. Be there to be those technical experts and that kind of trusted advisor.
Yeah. Well, I hear that step 5 is support, right? Which is fantastic, but it really does seem like steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, that support is kind of the name of the game all the way through the entire process for you and your team, making sure that clients have everything that they need and fully understand and that you're transparent, Trimble is transparent with the end user, making sure that they have all of the resources to help their platform flourish and to make decisions easier and more streamlined and smarter for them in the long term.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like phrasing it that way. I'm going to start using that, steal that.
Right, perfect. Well, it's not like I work in marketing and know how to say things, whatever. But no, that sounds great. Chris, this is really stellar. We're at 13 minutes. So I want to talk about a few more things and just make sure that we're kind of bringing this all holistic together. But what kinds of clients does your team anticipate being able to help this process? Like, is it your existing clients? Is it new clients? Both? Like, how does that work for you guys?
But yeah, I think really both. Anyone and everyone who's using CityWorks, we can help take kind of through this path. I think the good part of this plan or kind of steps that we've outlined is that it really gives us the space to do discovery with whoever is interested in making this change. Again, understand them and their requirements and what's very important to them, and then help them act on that. So I think really anybody, again, who is using CityWorks and interested in making this jump, we're here to help them. One thing that I think is interesting to think about and kind of something I think about a lot inside of a project is that this is really a change management project too. Mm-hmm. A lot of clients are using a legacy version of CityWorks, and some might be using CityWorks Office. Sometimes this is going to look and feel like a completely new software product to them. And I think we're very sensitive to that. And through this process, not only is it a technical change, but it's a end user change and a training project as well. And I think we really recognize that, and we're here to help kind of support everybody through that.
Absolutely. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, if that's all right with you. And I want to make a quick note as well that you said, anyone existing that's using CityWorks as an existing software, you all can help them. You all will help anyone build their own platform from scratch as well, even if they don't currently have CityWorks. That's something that your team does too. So I wanted to make sure that we made a note of that. this really is, if you have CityWorks and you're looking to migrate with Trimble before, the sunset of the existing platforms, Chris is here. If you don't currently use CityWorks and you're interested in learning more, Chris is here. Chris and the team, they're fantastic. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to link the webinar that you guys did back in April in this post on all the platforms that this is streaming for. So just, folks, if you're out there watching us, make sure you check out the webinar. It's a lot longer and it's got a lot of really great information in it. We had not previously shared it anywhere. So this is the first time that you will actually see it on our available on our platforms. So Chris, anything else that you want to add? Anything you want to hit on that we didn't talk about?
No, I think this is great. If anybody does have questions, obviously feel free to reach out to us. We're very excited to talk about this. I think it's an exciting change. It can be change can be scary, but this is an exciting opportunity, and I'm excited to talk to people about it.
Good, I agree. And I will also tag Chris in our platforms, particularly on LinkedIn. I know you're very active there, so if you're watching, again, reach out to Chris, and he's just a click away. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Chris. We appreciate everybody for listening in, and give Chris a shout. We hope to do some work with you soon.